Commissioner Brannon, we just had our two meetings this evening, and it looks like the 2015-2016 fiscal year budget is coming close to being a reality. We had the public hearing this evening. There was some discussion in the first meeting, however, about that economic developer or the need to maybe rebrand that position to give it a little bit of a broader scope. Can you speak to us on that?
Sure. First of all, I appreciate you guys taking time to be here tonight. Our first meeting was a study session to talk about the fiscal year 15-16 budget, and inclusive in that was us additionally striking some other items from the budget, very small things, but nonetheless it added a plus back to the budget. The other thing we had a lot of extensive discussion about was the position of an economic developer, and I think from the discussion that you heard tonight, there was a consensus built, one, that position should be that of a person who is employed at City Hall. Second, that position, I think consensus was built that position should be one rebranded as a community developer. And if you follow the logic there just a little bit, if I use the comparison of an economic developer, just as an example, this is my own example, but it's an example, most people would tie economic development to job creation, to filling retail spots and things like that, whereas we believe a community developer in this position with the city could focus on retail development, job creation, grants, community beautification, and things like that. Programs that we sincerely lack here in terms of having defined leadership. And so the other part of that is that we believe that if this person is an employee of the city, it gives us an opportunity to accomplish a lot of things. And bringing someone who has some expertise on staff that we currently don't have. You know, I think there's been at least 4 of us here on the commission that have championed a vision process for Cushing. And we need someone on our staff that is able to walk us through that process. And so I think that when you look at this from a community development perspective, rebranding that position from economic development, it just gives us a much better opportunity for initial success.
Well, I know that it's been a process to get to this point, and you spoke a little bit during the meeting this evening on the hard work that's been put in, and I really do want to focus on that one more time with you, because there has been a lot of hard work put in on the budget process.
You know, it really is. You know, when I was with the police department, we were challenged beginning really every December to really begin to wrap our minds around what our budget was looking like as the year began in the second half. Meaning from January to June, and then staff begins to really get challenged to start looking ahead for the next coming fiscal year to say, hey, what are some needs that we have, what are some wants that we have, and what are some things we would like to have. And so it gives us as staff an opportunity to begin to wrap our minds around what's realistic and what's not realistic. And when you look at the overall budget process, you're asking department heads to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. 1, identify things that they need. 2, create a list of things that they would like to have. And then 3, assess what it is that they really need, and then what's actually realistic in that same breath. So when you look through our entire budget book and you look at the work that's done there, the people in our city clerk's office and the city treasurer's office, the leadership of the city manager, coupled with the department heads, makes a great team. And they get a lot done. So I appreciate the work that they've done on this budget. I've said that all along from the first budget workshop that we did, talking about this through tonight. And one of the things that I really like about our city clerk today and our treasurer here today, very workable people. Not that our other folks weren't, but in the time I've had to serve with them on this side of the house, sitting here on the Board of Commissioners, a really great group of people to work with.
Well, one more thing before I let you go, and I think I would be remiss in not bringing this subject up. We had the monies in the budget for like an assistant city manager. That was already in the budget. Speak to us a little bit about where the monies will come from for a community developer or economic developer, that type position.
Okay. Well, in the 15-16 budget, what we have 3 really executive positions that are executive management level. The first one will be the city manager. The second one will be an assistant city manager, and the monies for that position will be found under the engineering budget. If you go back several years, Steve Spears, who is our current city manager, served as our city engineer / assistant city manager. So that position's always remained there, and I believe that Calvin Wright, who recently retired, who's a retired police chief, and who served really as an administrative assistant to Steve, in addition to overseeing things in waterworks, it afforded us an opportunity to plug-in assistant in there with his retirement. And then when you look at the community developer, you look at funds there. There's money already coming in for economic development from hotel motel tax, but there are other funds in our budget that will allow us to fund that position with ease. So it's not going to put any type of strain, anything like that on our budget.
Well, I appreciate you taking time and speaking with this Chairman Brannon, and we're glad to kind of get this process done, I think. Everybody kind of breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah, we are. And you know, one of the things that I would like to see going forward, we had one person here tonight, actually two people here tonight from the public. You know, millions of dollars are yours, and they're mine, and they're yours, Donna.
Right.
And I really wish that people would come and just hear what all is going on, what's happening in the city. The city staff's doing a great job of trying to manage their resources. There's not one organization in this community, including the city, that can't do things better. And I think that's what we're trying to do here, is do things better. And so I really wish that public input were a little bit more, or just public interest. You know, I think would really be beneficial to us to let us know, one, that we're doing a good job. Absence doesn't always necessarily mean that people don't care, but you know, we really would like to see a community move from being apathetic to engaged. And one way to get engaged is to come and spend 30 minutes with us to hear what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.